Admiral's log. As the sun rises over the newly secured Pearl Harbor, casting its warm glow upon the waters now under our control, I'm filled with a sense of pride and accomplishment. The capture of this strategic stronghold marks a pivotal moment in our campaign to bring the might of the American Empire to its knees, a critical piece in the puzzle that will pave the way for the invasion of the United States mainland. However, our triumph in the Pacific has come at a cost. With the vast majority of our fleet deployed to secure Pearl Harbor, the waters of the Yellow Sea were left largely undefended, a vulnerability that the Americans wasted no time in exploiting. A US task force has slipped past our defenses and taken up position, threatening to disrupt our plans and undermine our hard-won gains. This posturing by the Americans cannot be allowed to continue. While we only have one battleship and a dozen heavy cruisers in the area, this will have to do. These ships will have to put up the fight of their life in order to eliminate this American task force or be sunk trying. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 19. Do we have some uninvited guests in the Yellow Sea? It is an American task force, largely consisting of some serious firepower mounted on their battleships. These 14 and 16-inch guns are going to give my heavy cruisers a run for their money. The one battleship I have is the Gosrith, Enigma Hun class, 1929, so she's packing 13-inch guns. Now they're good 13-inch guns, and the crew has seen some action, so this battleship can handle its own. But against 4 battleships and a battle cruiser, that might be a bit much. The rest of them, the American fleet that is light cruisers and DDs, versus my almost exclusively heavy my exclusively heavy cruiser group. So my plan is to eliminate the light cruisers as quickly as possible. We have to eliminate these things because they carry tons and tons and tons of torpedo launchers. And that is not something I am willing to handle. Those light cruisers have 40 torpedo launchers and then 4 underwaters. They can put, well, up to 400 torpedoes in the water, I think, between the 10 or 12 of them that they have. Let's not be there when those torpedo walls arrive. Yep, 12 light cruisers, 10 DDs. We're in a bit of trouble. It's probably going to be a bit of a long battle here. As for the divisions, we got the 4 cruisers here, we got the 4 here, and we got the 3 here. Now, between all of these guys, I happen to have torpedo launchers as well. It's just not nearly as many, because I sport 4, and that's per cruiser. Just 4. But they are 24-inch, so if they do happen to hit you, well, you'll notice. As for their ability to take down the light cruisers, I am rather optimistic about that. Because I think we can do excellent things with these ships against our light cruisers. Light cruisers might be extremely many of them. I mean, look at this hideous piece of American engineering. There might be a lot of them, but they're not that strong. Like, their armor is not that good. So if I can keep my ships alive long enough, especially the heavy cruisers, so I can deal with these lights, I can probably then start using my torpedo launchers against their battleships. It is very possible that I'll lose quite a few of my ships here. I hope not, but it is definitely a possibility because they outnumber us severely. And my battleship, well, I got 13-inch guns, but they're going to have to work really hard to try and overcome the sheer number of American ships. If I can eliminate that battle cruiser early, that'd be great, because this is a very easy target. Unfortunately, out of range at the moment. I'll have to let my ships just pick their targets for themselves for a bit. Yeah, we're engaging a light cruiser here. The first of very, very many of these things. Ideally, I would keep the rest of these cruisers within the comms range of this ship, because they get the flagship bonus. Where's the flagship bonus? Extend 21 kilometers. So yeah, it's possible, I guess, to try and get some of these ships within their range. But actually, yeah, I'll slow them down a touch. 2 reasons. Better accuracy and better ability to dodge torpedoes. Unfortunately, detecting torpedoes is going to be the real threat. There we go. Bit of flooding there. Their torpedo range is what, 12? Yeah, 11. So we're within range. Okay. Assume we've been torpedoed, start turning around. Switch to the next light cruiser and hammer that thing. At this point, the battle cruiser should be in range. Yeah, not yet. It's dead slow. Are you two breeding or something? What is this? Yeah, see? These guys are going at it. And about 6 months later, a new light cruiser is born. With all those torpedo launchers. This is some sort of... Yeah. Let's not, shall we? I don't need any more light cruisers to fight. Okay, we're getting some damage in on these ships. How's this heavy cruiser line doing? Oh crap, you guys are constrained by the Anhui. I might have to split the divisions up some more, but at least the bigger, faster the bigger heavy cruisers should be gaining a little bit of accuracy bonus. This museum piece has no business being here, but look at the length of those barrels. What the hell? How much range do you have? It's a 3rd tier gun you got there. 10.3 inch gun at 19 kilometers. That is very respectable. Very respectable. Where's the battleship? Yeah, it's trailing behind the battle. That's fine. Let the heavy cruisers shield this thing for a bit. This is where the real action is probably going to happen. I don't need to kill them all outright. I can just slowly whittle them down. Insofar as the ammunition will last. Switch targets. And ammunition lasting through the fight might be my biggest concern. Thankfully, as for speed, that's the advantage. Well, for most of these heavy cruisers. Because I can do 27 to 30 knots, and they can't. Except for my battleship. It's starting to show its age a little bit with its mere 22.5 knots. Can you pick off that battle cruiser now? Oh, they're still very far in the back. Whatever. Target the battle cruiser. If you can, put some secondary pressure on this. Yeah, you do have range for that. How are we doing with the other heavy cruiser wall? Pretty good. We're 14 kilometers out. Can you guys... What is this ship makeout sessions that we keep seeing? Why are my ships making out? Makes no sense. We're here to fight a war. Not build new cruisers. We do that in the dock. Switch to this other target here. You another... Yep, you're in a light cruiser from hell. As long as these guys are coming straight at me, it's fine. They don't have the firepower to actually launch their torpedoes. Their angle is bad. These things start going broadside, you better start changing course. Considering their thin skin, I think we can quickly get rid of this guy, especially with the amount of focused fire that we have right now. That's one. Extensive fire? That's not even supposed to happen in this mod. Okay. I take it. It's fine. But it's just a little unpredictable. A little unexpected there. Yeah, Duluth did get its torpedoes away. Targeting the Crook Tuna. The leader of the group. Okay, start turning. Prepare for incoming torpedoes. Manchester has not yet launched. Most likely she will soon. Well, not if that happens. That's all of her torpedoes destroyed? Yeah, that's all of her torpedoes destroyed. That's a lot of damage going into that ship. Okay, she's gone next. Yeah, you did not get any torps away. Excellent. These other guys are skirmishing with the rest of the group. What's that? DDs? Is that more of these CLs? Yeah, that's the DDs. I think we've been predictable for a little while too long. Let's start changing course. The other light cruiser here is getting completely taken apart by my heavies. Battleship is still behind it, having done almost nothing. It's a bit unfortunate. There we go. Montgomery is down. Next. The Biloxi. Start pushing the Gosworth slightly farther away from the fight. I want to be able to disengage, having only killed a couple of my their ships, so that I'll still have an opportunity for an escape, if and when I desire. That's good damage right there. These things are not cheap for the Americans. That's a $245 million ship. And they're getting absolutely demolished by my 293 million ships. Well, dollar, I mean. Go on. Next. We are within their torpedo range, so we're going to keep zigzagging. There's the Pueblo. Old museum piece with the 10-inch gun. Over here we got the Reno. The Denver. Ah, some good damage here. Are you guys even targeting? Oh, you're actually targeting this guy. Okay, fine. As for the torpedoes on these ships, I'm intentionally keeping them off. I do not want to use my torpedoes just yet. These DDs, is that expensive? It's dirt cheap. Well, 27 million for a destroyer is not necessarily dirt cheap, and they have launched torpedoes, as I expected. So continue on your turn, and you guys should be alright. As for these, we are doing some serious damage to the San Francisco. And after that, I think our next target should be the Pueblo, because this does have the potential to start punching a couple of... Yeah. Especially against these broadside cruisers like the low budget here. That can cause flooding, slowing down the whole line. Crook 2 already took a hit. It's not that big of a hit, but it was a 14-inch gun that hit her. There you go. Don't go broadside, dude. You'll regret it. If you live long enough. Come on. Take it out. Good work. Next, Pueblo. Heavy cruisers on the other side. Not really getting the damage in as I want. Switch the DDs. And start turning back out. Here is the heavy cruiser starting to get hurt. Although this thing is a bit tougher by a heck of a margin. Oh, there we go. Right through. Because these guys, they don't have a whole lot of armor. A light cruiser can't. Oh. Launch against Jingyang. That's the trailing ship. But the trailing ship is already changing course. Alright, so we should be okay. We're going to turn to port. Our battleship is nicely away. Just max it out. If you can deal any kind of damage, by all means do so. But I think the cruisers are doing a lot more work here. The problem is these light cruisers are going broadside. Let's switch to the Denver. She has not yet launched her torps, but she's probably thinking about it. Targeting the trailing Yingwan. If we can get this torpedo launcher destroyed right now, that'd be great. Yeah, they're definitely thinking about it. There's flooding on the Denver. She is in a rough sea right now. Look at that little turret on top of the main turret. Boom! 3,300. More flooding on the Denver. Come on. Boom. Yep, torpedo detonation. That's what I'm looking for. You just throw enough shit at this cruiser, you're bound to hit a torpedo launcher at some point, because half the ship is a torpedo launcher. Put some secondary pressure from the Gosworth on that. As for the heavies over here, we're fine. There's a lot of attention for them from light cruisers, DDs, and everything else. And these guys all sport Hydro 2. Probably something more modern. Sonar 2. This destroyer here has Hydro 3. Yeah. We're not launching torpedoes against that. We are not launching torpedoes against that. We're going to we're going to increase speed a bit. Start putting pressure on things that are getting too close. Just hit the DD and you might hit the CL in the meanwhile. Wait, that was not mine. That was a DD torping each other. Perfect. The Denver's down. Without getting torps away. Okay, switch to the Reno. Crook Tuna is starting to take a few more hits now. That's another 14-inch shell that just hit her. I'm not going to take any chances with this ship. You're going back to base. Leader of the group is now the Anhui. And then we got Colorado and Pueblo in the back. It is possible that we're going to have a clean line to go after their battleships. It'll be a bit of a challenge getting there. These crews, they're trained. It's 14-inch Mark II only with a reload of 69 seconds. That's a long reload for a 14-incher. My 13-incher reloads in 30 seconds. Far better. Okay, how are you guys at? They're not that heavily armored. Do I just take HE? 0.8 inches. Ooh, good stuff. Yeah. Switch to high explosive only. That should be good enough. Target the Dayton. Get ready to hit the Boise. These things are so close together. So close together. There's the Reno. That's the other side of the battlefield. Look at this. I'm surprised the AI can sort of maneuver these ships, considering how close they all are. Alright, boys. So that was the last of their light cruisers on this flank. Next is Colorado. There goes the William B. Preston, their DD. This one, please. I don't care that much about the Boise, because the other guys have it. And kind of coincidentally, these heavy cruiser groups are meeting up again. I wasn't actually planning on that. They're still way too far away from the flagship, but that's fine. I wasn't planning on it, but it's a good situation to be in. Because it means I have more overlapping firepower. And that feels a bit safer. Okay, keep punching these things until they sink. Boise is taking some serious flooding. They still have all of their torpedoes. Surprisingly, I have not yet been hit by a single torp. I have done damage with torpedoes, but that's only because the AI misattributes that. I have not taken a torpedo yet. Long may that continue. Now, these guys are only 10 clicks out from the battleships, but we first have to remove a couple of heavy cruisers from existence. After that's done, perhaps we'll have an opportunity. I got range. I got 10 kilometer range with these ships. Well, this is a bit of a problem. These will probably detect the launch, causing the battleships to panic. Can't have that. Sending a torpedo into the Boise is going to get detected anyway. It's annoying. Hold on, you're torpedoing something. Do you feel that's needed? Torpedoing the lead ship a while ago with a very slow torpedo. Okay. Yeah, you're going down. These others. We got torpedo in the water, but it's not a threat because we've already cleared that side. We need to start putting pressure on these right now, so that the other cruisers can actually put pressure on the battleships. It all works together. And I'll pretend I planned it as such. Alright, you guys. Next up, the Pueblo. Already badly damaged. No torpedo launchers of note left. The Reno. Well, she might be sunk or sinking. But I suspect she's still able to detect targets. Torpedoes, that is. Let's eliminate the DDs before they eliminate me. Come on, 9-inch guns. You get a 100% chance to hit here. That's what I like to see. Torpedoes! Origin, most likely that's sinking Colorado. Come on. Oh, shit. You'd better start turning now. Oh, dud. No. I thought for a second she was going to get clear. This is the Heilongjiang. Let's see how much she can... Well... Everybody, this is your target. Right here. With the secondaries on the other one. We are very, very close. They're targeting the Henan. Not even sure where that is. Ooh. There. Yeah, you'll never hit that. We'll make sure of that. You guys, line up. Torpedo launcher destroyed. Torpedo launcher destroyed. Excellent. Light cruiser Boise has been destroyed. The 4 group's going to target the Salt Lake City next. We have to eliminate these DDs and we have to be quick about it. These battleships are getting a lot closer, and that means better able to deal damage. Yingjuan. Or Jingyuan, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. Target this with a torpedo launcher. Only you're allowed to launch. Only you. Because you're in a pretty decent position to try and force these guys to change course. Pop it. Good work. Yep, and the Cory, this one, it might be neutral, like it surrendered, but it definitely detected the torpedoes. Oh crap, we're gonna ram the Sarsfield here. Not exactly what I was planning. Torpedoes in the water. Many? Oh yeah, if that came out of a light cruiser, that's gonna be many torpedoes. Richmond has a very short lifespan. Hold on, that's... I hit the Yunnan with a torpedo. No, I hit a torpedo on the Yunnan. On the Richmond. Okay, fine. Yeah, these torpedoes are definitely going to get detected by the Carmack and the Dale. Leading the Pennsylvania to try and change course. Most likely to port, so that way. Which might actually expose her to more risk. And it is also possible that the Carmack accidentally pushes herself into the path of a torpedo by trying to dodge, because the AI always turns away. And that, oink, is a dud. Oh man, okay, fine. Okay, whatever. We're now going to start torpedoing. Let me set targets. Anhui, you're going to target this. Henan's going to target that as well. Oh crap, you guys are on top of each other. That's not good. Low budget, you're going to torpedo the North Cal. The Kahar is not allowed to launch. And you're going to torpedo the North Dakota as well. Okay, everybody except the Kahar. You, torpedo. In case you want to know how I did that, you select one ship from the division instead of the whole division. You hold Control Shift and then you right click a target. And that way you set a specific target for that ship only. So the Anhui is now targeting the North Dakota, but the torpedoes are targeting the Vermont back there. And I've done this for every single ship. And if you just select the whole division, you can see all these dotted and dashing lines going to different targets, so that you don't accidentally waste a whole lot of torpedoes on one target, which you really don't have to. These cruisers are doing a phenomenal job here. Yunnan, 45k, 52k. The Obelisk Potosky doing 41k. Shandong doing 4.8, but she's trailing. So that explains that. Pennsylvania has taken... No. North Dakota? I thought somebody took a hit. Yeah. I've hit the North Dakota with a torpedo. She suffered massive damage. Not from the torpedo alone, but from other hits as well. Bonk. We got Walls of Skill going after this whole group here. At this point, though, I am very broadside and very vulnerable. Switch fire to the heavy cruiser and turn away, if only a little bit. Torpedo launchers off. Other heavy cruiser group. What's the range on our secondaries? 10 kilometers. Start pushing against the DDs then. North Dakota is most likely dead. She has 2% buoyancy left and she still has... Oh, sorry, 2%... 0.1% structural. Gone. Okay. That's that. Torpedoes are likely detected, but the battleships are going to take a lot of time trying to turn around. Good damage on the Pueblo, right from the stern, causing flooding and massive amounts of damage through fires. It is a museum piece, though. It really has no business being here. This thing is 87 million. By contrast, those CLs of theirs, those light cruisers, far more expensive. Definitely a very different age, this ship. I think we might just be able to eliminate the whole battle group without suffering any serious casualties. Although the Henan would like a word. Get you detached and just disengaged, because you're taking too much damage. As for the Hailongjiang, I think she'll be fine. Oh crap, we got a torpedo launch from the Carmack. Yeah, going against exactly that target. Start changing course right now. Henan's changing direction as quickly as possible, but it'll take her a bit of time to do that. Torpedoes are making their way through the formation. Seemingly putting a hole in the Alaska. 2 holes, in fact. The South Carolina took a hit. The Dale is down. DDs have taken a hit. I'm forcing the battleships to change direction. Almost into the path of the other heavy cruisers. Unfortunately, they're a bit scattered, these ships. Okay, fine. We'll just launch with the Yunnan and the Shandong. These two are too close together and unpredictable for me, so I'll not launch because I don't know where the torpedoes are going to go. They might just push them into each other or into the Shandong, which would also be really bad news. Torpedo launcher coming to join the fight. Torpedoes away. Yunnan, torpedoes away. Excellent. Ceasefire. Pueblo is down. That's their CA on the other side. For once, I actually feel quite in control of this battle. That's refreshing. Okay, we're going to turn back again. There's not a whole lot left of the heavy cruiser group on the other side. At least not formation-wise, but they're alive. I do believe we've dodged all the torpedoes. So you can rejoin that div. You'll have to fall in behind them, but that's fine. There goes the McCormick. Now push out the other DDs. Oh, the BC's changing course. Okay, fine. This heavy cruiser group. Put all your main guns on the Alaska. Armor piercing. I know we don't have that many shells left, but we should still be able to use AP. Because they've been mostly expending their HE ammunition. These torpedoes are a complete bust, because they changed course. Might still get a lucky hit on the South Carolina with one of those. As for the rest of them, we're going to target that with secondaries. There's good damage. Oh, we lost the Henan. What happened to you? I know you were the focal point. Thankfully, it's a relatively older ship. Yeah, that's a couple of nasty bruises you got there. One for 4,000, 2,000, 2,300. Yeah, that adds up pretty quick. It's a $117 million ship that I lost. Could have been worse. Could have been, for example, the Kahar, which is more than twice the price. Almost 3 times. The Alaska is now getting mauled by those 9-inch guns mounted on all of these cruisers here. Unfortunately, she's already changed course. Angling herself a bit, but it's not really going to matter that much. I can still get you. If you paper armor your ship. you will notice the effects. Pennsylvania is targeting the Ping 1, which is part of this group here. Okay. Shandong is still reloading her torps, that's fine. We actually get a pen on a battleship? Oh, right, because their battleships too are very poorly armored. So I can probably eliminate the whole fleet just using the heavy cruisers. But I do need to focus these guys down. Well, their 17-inch guns are out of ammo. Because we've destroyed one of their turrets. Stern turret's been destroyed. Flash fired. So they don't have any ammo, leaving them just with an 8-inch gun. And an angle warning. So this thing is so badly flooded, it can't exactly fire. Heavy cruisers on the other side. Oh, shit. See, this is the problem of not really being able to see torpedoes. I was too busy managing the guys on the other side. Who did that? Not the battleship. Ow. Immediately pull the ship off the line. Yeah, you're lucky, you're lucky, you're lucky. Very, very lucky. I need to reconstitute this division. You, low budget, join the Anhui. Ying 1 can join that division as well. You can retreat. Kahar can retreat. Gosrith is 37 clicks out, not a problem. Battlecruiser has sunk. South Cal taking a lot of damage. Ship is starting to take a bit too much attention. This whole line, actually. Ooh, Ping 1's probably dead. Detach if you can. Some of you still have torps, right? Yeah. Oblix. Go do the torpedo run. Yunnan. Start turning away from the fight, because we're broadside against 14-inch guns. Yeah, there goes the Ping 1. Shandong needs to disengage and slow herself down. She's doing 38 knots out of 34. And I really do not want her to start getting in front of the torpedoing Oblix. Come on. Yeah. That's exactly what I was worried about. Okay. South Carolina's probably going to take quite a bit of flooding damage there. We still got about a half health Vermont. And a full health Pennsylvania. Anhui has no torpedoes left. Low budget's reloading. Jing 1 has torps. The Kahara also has torps. Told you to disengage, but I might need your torps. And you... oh, you can still fight. I'm gonna need all the pens I can get on these battleships. South Carolina's almost dead. Are you firing AP? Or HE? Why are we doing that? Just switch to armor piercing, please. You can pen this thing. Yeah, we're gonna have a hit there. 2 hits there. That helps. Unfortunately, it's coming at a price. You're going to detach. You're going to continue pushing. You guys are going to retreat. The both of you. Especially with a half-flooded heavy cruiser, it's a dangerous position for them to be in. Obelisk is still powering around at 29 knots. What are you targeting? Shandong. It's my retreating heavy cruiser here. Can we sandwich the Pennsylvania here? That is not heavily armored. And we should be able to cause some more flooding and sink her. Leaving just 1 DD. And 1 more battleship, the Vermont. But those torpedoes, launched by the Obelix, really help. She's having all sorts of flooding issues now. Cramped crew quarters means that her damage control is faltering. There goes the foot. Switch targets to the Vermont. What are you targeting, Vermont? Oh, nothing. You got no ammo. Did you lose a turret? You didn't lose a turret, so you've expended all of your ammunition? Interesting. Wouldn't really expect that. Yeah, my heavy cruiser is more expensive than their battleship. So, that goes to say something about the quality of those ships. Well, I mean, not necessarily. The quality of a ship is, to some extent, determined by what sort of gear you put on that, and as such, by the amount of tech that you're willing to put on the ship. But some hulls are just very expensive. Heavy cruiser hulls, I think, are okay. But when it comes to having either a Pennsylvania or a heavy cruiser, I'm not sure what I'd pick. Let me know down below in the comments what you'd pick. Would you pick a heavy cruiser with torpedoes, or would you actually pick the battleship? Yeah, I do trust in your ability to pen, but not at that angle. Look at this guy, just casually sailing right close to a battleship. Penning the battleship's stern with HE. Oh, that's an insult. Nice. And these guys are all pointlessly looking up at the sky, these turrets. Not a good day for the Americans here. But a heck of a day for the Chinese Navy. There goes Pennsylvania, leaving only the crippled Vermont to stand. And that will not last long. Now, we did lose a couple ships ourselves, but they lost 4 battleships and a battlecruiser. That is some substantial losses. There she goes. That is the battle. Or am I missing anything? Oh! It's not the battle yet. I forgot about a DD. No survivors. Prisoners of war are more of a hassle, so let's just take it down. And so, 120,000 victory points versus 11,000. What did I lose? The Ping 1 and the Hanan. The rest of the American ships, all gone. 4 battleships, a battle cruiser, 2 heavies, 12 lights, and 10 DDs. And this is what happens when you find that most of the enemy fleet is made out up of smaller ships. This is where heavy cruisers just reign supreme, because they're the jack of all trades. And especially with the American ships and their poor armor, I kind of lucked out. Normally, a battle cruiser and a battleship, they don't have 1.5 inches of armor. But in this case, in this game, they do. And that is what probably just crushed the Americans here. So the Yellow Sea is swept clean. There's no further American presence. Ooh, I would love to take this. But unfortunately, my fleet is a little busy. These guys can go back into port. We'll just put them... Yeah, this is a pretty decent port. The conquest over here is going well. That is the invasion of Fiji. And over here, the naval invasion in Anchorage. Well, we're looking pretty good. Maybe in one turn, I'm the new proud owner of Southern Alaska. And indeed I am. I have now gained control of Southern Alaska. The invasion of Fiji is still going strong. Where do I take Singapore? Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're not having it, I can use that. That's part of Malaysia. It's not terribly expensive. And they want me to have 124,000 tons. Now that is quite a lot. Oh, did I mention we're at war with the Italians? The Italians are making a bit of a fuss, sending some ships out into what I suspect is the Yellow Sea, because that's usually where they end up. On their head be it. Oh, they got 8 battleships. On my head be it, perhaps. I hope we can repair those ships pretty quick, because they might not have a whole lot of respite on them. I do have one State Belt class that's coming out of refitting. Where are my battleships at? The State Belt, here. 2 months. And she's done refitting to the 1929 version. Yeah. Now, I don't really have any better tech that I can put on my ships. So, it's not like having a new cruiser is really going to help that much. I keep upgrading the Mechamatics. That's the one with the 9-inch guns that you've just seen fight. And I think that the original ship is still good. So what I can try and do is just upgrade this one to the latest spec, insofar as there has been any new gear for them, and make sure that that is going to be the new default. That should allow me to build these ships right away, instead of having to build them and then refit them for a couple of months, taking, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months longer than it really should. So let's refit them first. Yeah, they're carrying the best oil. I don't have diesel engines yet. Anti-torp 2 is fine. Well, if I can go anti-torp 3, that would be slightly better, because torpedoes are definitely posing a problem with the Americans. Let's go stereoscopic 5. Let's go RDF. And as for armor, I'd say these ships are holding up rather well. Propellant is fine, although we can go to TNT 4 for explosives. Cordite would give me slightly better shell pen and less flash fire chance. So let's do that. As for their shells, I think the capped ballistic and capped HE are doing very well. Standard ratio shells means I can gauge anything and everything. And with just 90 tons, maybe we can increase the belt armor a bit more. Superstructure armor is good enough. We can up the inner belt a little bit more so that if we get penned, it's still going to get stopped. There. So we're going to save that. That's the new 1930 version of the Mechamedics. And then I should be able to copy that and start building these things right away. Because I did lose a few, and I would love to see a couple more of them. So let's copy this. And the game tends to hang a little bit on that, because it's probably trying to write a new file. Here we go. They're now known as the Guangxi class, which I don't think is okay. So this is the Mechamedic 2 class, and that should be fine. So I can save this design, and I should be able to instantly start building them without having to refit all of those things. I mean, yeah, the existing Mechamedics, let's say the Mechamedic Flight 1, I'll have to refit those all the time, but the other ones, not as much. Also, as I mentioned, I think in the previous episode, I was selling some battleships. I've now sold the second one that I was building in Order of Another Nation, and that gained me another 3 billion, so I now have quite a lot of money. Yeah, here we go. We can build, let's say, another... Yeah, I'll take another 10. These are really good ships. Really trusty ships. Well, that did push us slightly over shipbuilding capacity. Let's change that. Anything that's building is a lower priority. So we're going to suspend the construction of 1. And that should do it. We're spending 200 million a month, give or change, or take or change a bit. And that's with a low tech budget. If I want to increase that, we're spending $500 million a month. That's a bit much. Let's improve it to like 55%. And considering that we're using 9-inch guns quite a lot, we got the 9-inch Mark IV. I'm mostly trying to benefit my heavy cruiser guns at the moment, because the battleships, I got access to the Mark III 16-inchers, that's good enough. 18, 19, 21-inch gun, or 20-inch guns, they just don't do that much. Yeah, having the Mark Vs would also help. As for hull strengthening, I can now get the experimental battleship. I don't even want to know what that thing costs. Armor quality would be nice to have. Crypt 4. I can boost that. Engines is marine diesels. Could be useful. Hull cost goes up quite a bit. Well, we're going from 20 to 22%. I'm not really in a rush with the diesels. Boilers are fine. What can I get from the new cruisers? Any better hulls? No, not really. So cruiser hull hasn't really gone up, I think. So it should be fine. I don't need any new cruiser designs anyway. Alright, so I think we're fine. We're doing some nice things with the Conquest here, and on the other side I'll just have to try and free up a fleet. But, well, the Italians are kind of wasting my time here. And I might need to do another round against the Italians soon, because most of my battleships are just busy. They're invading, or they're just trying to protect the Yellow Sea. It's the Antonio Bucaya, the UAFA from 1927, originally from 1909. My shipyards are busy. I cannot afford to build any more battleships. And everything else is in the Gulf of Alaska. Can I push some ships from the Gulf of Alaska to northern Alaska? Yeah, let's go do that. Yeah, let's take this. Make life for the Americans a bit harder. How is their economy? 335. So I've now overtaken them with 338. And that's how Chinese economy is bigger than the Americans in 1931. Isn't that lovely? Alright, fun things happening here. I hope you'll join me for more of those soon, because there's plenty of craziness happening in this campaign. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for more.